Well, welcome everyone. Welcome, Krista. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to spend some time with us here. And welcome to everyone out there who's joined in. I see some friendly names and hopefully faces as part of this. So thanks everyone for taking an hour out of your day to learn a little bit more about Gooten. We're going to share with you a few different things. Just a first couple logistics just to cover off. If you do have a particular question for me or for Krista or for our team, just put it into the chat window. And Zlata on my team is online as well. And so she'll try to answer things live while we're going. If there's something that's kind of a good group question, I'll pick that out and run through it with Krista as we're going through. And just put the questions in there, and then we'll pick them out and get through them as we're going through the session. So we do see them all. So if I don't get to it right away, it's not because we're avoiding it or something. We'll get to it throughout the right place in the presentation. So hopefully everyone enjoys this, and we'll get started. So again, welcome. The panel or the webinar discussion, a little bit of a mini panel between Krista and I, is really on, we just got through the holiday season. I know some people had great holiday experiences. Some people may have struggled with a few different things. And so we really wanted to highlight some of the things that, were successful for us and why people are using Gooten moving forward, and why you can count on Gooten as your key, or as we say here, right, your leading print-on-demand partner as you move forward and start working in 2021, leading into, believe it or not, people are already thinking about holiday 2021, even though we just survived the prior one. So, but everything's ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to advance the slides. Hopefully they move forward here. There we go. So what we're going to kind of cover today is a few different things. We'll do a quick round of intros between Krista and myself. We're going to cover off a little bit of, the state of manufacturing, and then, some of the benefits of working with Gooten. But what we're really going to get into is a kind of a deep dive by Krista here on using Gooten, and as I'll mention in the next slide, but Krista's our Chief Experience Officer, and she's really spent, I would say, countless hours and now years working to build out our merchant dashboard. And so she's going to walk you through some of the key advantages of using it, and maybe some of the little unique things that you can do in it as well. Talk about some integrations with some of our e-commerce site partners, and then we'll wrap it up with some extra Q&A and kind of get you going from there. So hopefully this sounds good. Again, if you have any questions, just pop them into the chat window and we'll get going. So I'm Mark Kapczynski. I'm usually the moderator and host here of our webinar series, and this is our first one for 2021 rather, sorry. Hard to say that's yet or still as we get into the year. But really excited to kick off a whole new series. Last year, we really focused on things around a lot of our existing partners to help them get ready for the holiday season. And what we really want to do as we move the beginning of 2021 here is focus on welcoming new potential partners into our program, or new merchants onto our platform, and show existing partners how they can fully take advantage of Gooten as they scale up their business this year. So if you're new to Gooten, welcome. If you're an existing Gooten merchant, glad to have you. Hopefully you had a successful holiday season, and hopefully you get some added tips on things that you can be taking advantage of from us this year. With me today, as mentioned, Krista is our Chief Experience Officer. Krista, you've been here like a little over 4 years now, right?
Yeah, since 2016, end of 2016.
Yeah, that's great. And I mean, the Gooten merchant dashboard has really been your key thing, and I know working with our merchant partners to be successful at the design side and really creating digital products to be able to leverage the Gooten platform.
Yeah, exactly. We've done a lot of changes over the years and continuing to make improvements based on feedback from you all. So looking forward to even more good things coming up.
Cool. So if you're new to Gooten, just wanted to kind of cover a quick little backstory on who we are. So we've actually been around since 2015. Our whole focus is to operate what we call a smart supply chain. We primarily work with brands and retailers that are looking to take their e-commerce business to the next level. And a part of our, call it secret sauce, is our proprietary technology platform that enables these different experiences that you as merchants want to bring to life with your ultimate customer base. And we want to be the best partner for you to provide our on-demand manufacturing capabilities as part of your overall business model. And so, as you're thinking about working with different providers in the space, we want to make sure that you feel that you can trust and leverage our platform to help you scale and achieve the goals that you have for your business this year. I always I started last year at Gooten, and one of the first questions I asked anyway, maybe I was silly, but I talked to some of our fellow executives, was like, how'd you even come up with the name? And heard a few different stories, but the story that seemed to stick the most was a reference to Johannes Gutenberg, who, if you are out of the audience and you may recall, really was the innovator around the printing press and really democratized bringing information to the masses. And I think it's the story that I heard from Brian and Maddie, some of our key executives, and Krista, and so on, was like, that was the inspiration of like, how do we democratize the world of print on demand or on-demand manufacturing so that more people can take advantage of it and really leverage a size of scale and quality that goes along with that. It wasn't just that Gutenberg, created a printing press and anything could be printed on. The quality was so significant that it really stood out in the time, and that's our goal here at Gooten, is to make sure that we have consistent quality for you with our on-demand capabilities. So just to kind of, again, for folks who may be new to Gooten, maybe new to the on-demand manufacturing world, you have different options for manufacturing today. You can have your own inventory created, you can produce it in bulk, you can, then figure out how you have to store and warehouse all of this. And oftentimes when you're working in that space, you suffer from maybe a lack of support. So, warehousing folks are great at storing boxes and pulling things off of shelves and moving it around logistically, but they don't really know your business, what you do, and how to really best provide added value to you. There's also usually huge upfront commitments in multi-year contracts and warehousing fees. Bulk inventory, if you're using that, requires a huge capital investment to actually pre-produce all of your inventory that you may not even use or sell. And the processes are usually very complicated, and you're the one that ends up having to source the manufacturing, source the warehousing, source the shipping, manage support and communication across all this. Well, at Gooten, what we've tried to do is take all of that and basically bring it to life in our print-on-demand model, so that it's super easy for you to just literally, with a single API, plug into the Gooten infrastructure and take advantage of everything that we provide for you. Under the covers, we have a number of different product lines. We have nearly 140 product lines, was one of the numbers I heard even this morning from our CFO. And it ranges from apparel type of products to wall art. You might have seen a lot of our existing merchants over the holiday season selling a lot of canvas wrap type of elements, like you see over on the left side, or other kind of professional prints like in the middle, all the way to various types of home goods and home decor, whether it's mugs and glassware to different kind of blankets. I know personally, I ordered everyone from my family these amazing fleece blankets. I think Krista, you said you did too, right? I mean, they're so comfortable and so warm. The quality was so high. So print on demand can be applied to more than just a simple t-shirt. It could be really applied to a whole product line, and Gooten aims to provide a very wide and diverse product portfolio for you to leverage. At the end of the day, it's sustainable. There's no risk because we charge, when you sell a particular item to a consumer, that's what you pay for. So if you sell one, you pay for one. There's no inventory commitment. There's no minimum guarantees. It's a completely a low risk model, such that you can experiment, you can be innovative as much as possible, or as much as you'd like. Try things out, see what works, and then you can really dive in deeper to push the sales front. Everything's customizable, so you get to pick and choose how you want things to work, how you want branding to work, how you want labeling to work, how you want different colors and personalization elements to work. Krista's going to go through that in a lot better detail and show you what that actually looks like. And ultimately, I mentioned it's a single API, whether it's through an existing storefront like Shopify or through our custom APIs that you just plug into the Gooten infrastructure, so that one API you connect to us and you get access to our whole universe of manufacturing, products, support, operations, shipping, etc. And we're really excited to talk to you further if you have questions in more detail on some of these things. And I'm going to turn it over now to Krista to walk you through things in a little bit more detail, and I might, Krista, chime in on a couple points as you're going through it as well. So let me stop sharing and turn things over to you.
Sounds good. Let me see if I can share my screen. One second here. Oh gosh, it's asking me for permissions. Good stuff.
Always the live demo scenario that comes into play, right?
All right. Got it?
Quick reboot of the computer.
Yeah, honestly, you might have to. Hold on. Let me try one more time.
If you want, I can share the slides from my screen if you want, or whatever would help you out.
Yeah, might be a little tricky. Of course. Here.
You're gonna make me start doing the tap dance and a little soft shoe here,
Oh, really sorry. Really sorry. All right, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, might have to have you walk through.
Sure, not a problem. Do you want me to? Happy to walk through the slides and then go from there. We can talk through the demo portion. All right, I'll let you go from here.
All right, so what I'm going to be talking about, and this is going to be a little bit tricky. I have to figure out why my screen isn't sharing. But we'll want to bring you through a little bit of a high-level product overview so you can see what we do and what features we offer in our product range, as well as we can dig into whether or not an API or a direct store integration will work depending on your business model, your goals for this year. And then lastly, we'll get into how Gooten handles an order and how we might be a little bit different than your current fulfillment provider. And we'll walk through that. So if you wanna, maybe we should go through the API store integration first and then do product demo last. Does that work?
Your call. You want to go through, start here?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so Gooten offers three, Zlata is offering me some help. Should I click remote request access? Is that my problem? Oh, I can, okay, got it. All right, so I have remote control of your screen. This is fun.
Okay, I'll let you drive then my screen.
All right, so Yeah, so Gooten has 3 different direct store integration options currently. We have integration with Shopify, Etsy, and WooCommerce. So if you are selling on one of those platforms, that might be a good option for you. You can simply connect your store and get started syncing your products over to us for automated fulfillment. If you don't have one of those, actually, I'm not really sure how to move it over. Okay. If you don't have one of those, if you're not selling on one of those platforms, or you have a completely customized site, then a direct API integration might be a good option for you, especially if you have access to engineers and have a larger team. Typically, our API integrations take partners a couple weeks to hook into, but a lot of them will, be building out a new store and things like that, so it might take a little bit longer. But typically, you can start digging into our documentation that's on our website and get started. We've had some partners integrate into our API over the course of a weekend. They might have drank a lot of coffee, but yeah, typically takes around a couple weeks, and you can start ingesting orders right away from your store, which is really great. If your business offers merchandise through another application, such as a video game, an iOS or Android app, or something like that, API integration is really great. It works seamlessly through that process. We have a partner who offers t-shirt merchandise at the end of a video game. You can create your own t-shirt right in the game and purchase it right from there. So that's really fun, especially if you're wanting to get creative with how you're structuring your store. Definitely talk to our partnership managers about integrating via the API. Last 2 options or reasons why you might want to go with an API versus Shopify integration is if you are building a custom order ingestion flow for things like personalization. We have a partner that works with a lot of bands, and people can upload or they have a number of photos that they took at the concert when there was concerts, and their customers.
We all miss those days.
Yeah, those customers can order, their personalized concert photo directly from their site. So those type of workflows work very well with the API integration. And lastly, if you want to be super nimble with creating new products, if your business is licensing large groups of artwork and you're typically creating hundreds of products at a time, API works well because you don't have to be bogged down with creating products in our system. You can simply connect through the orders API and ingest those orders as they come in and not worry about creating and publishing products that way. And so you can just kind of do it once, be done, and hook into our system that way. So that's just a high level overview. Of course, if you have any specific questions about how that all works, we have actually another good thing to mention with our API that's a little bit different than other API services out there is that if you're interested in being super quick with product creation, we have a previews API. So you can generate the product previews for your store without having to take tons of photos or spend a lot of time on mockups. That's something, especially with our partners that have hundreds of products, it takes a lot of time to do that. And I know the struggle of having to hire a bunch of designers to do all of that work. So this way you can just easily generate those for your store and publish your products that way, if that's interesting to you.
That's seemingly one of the big pieces of feedback that we get from our partners that do use our APIs is they love that functionality because it does cut down a lot of the work for them.
Yeah. creating photos and hiring a photographer or doing it yourself, and especially when you're trying to be nimble with creating new designs on products and things like that is can be challenging. So we want to take, we're all about speeding up the process and making things a lot faster. So that's what we strive to do.
Great.
All right, next slide. I can't seem to move it along for whatever reason. Yeah, okay. So get into how we handle an order. And yeah, our mission is to increase your reputation with your customers with every order. So that's something we take to heart when we're considering updating our orders logic. And, we really want to provide a good experience for your end customer. So we're constantly listening to your feedback and improving the way that we handle orders every day. It's all about speed and high quality product experience, of course. So next slide. Oh.
You want me to help you?
Yeah. It's like going very slowly when I try to do it.
Yeah.
Okay,
I can just say next slide and I'll do it for you.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, so the basics of an order, when somebody hits that buy button on your store platform, if you're familiar with on-demand fulfillment products, this is going to be very similar to what you're used to. You can connect through one of our API integrations and you'll see that order come in on your orders page. Especially if you're using our API integration, that process will be almost immediate. Actually, like I've heard from our team that it's like a millisecond or something. So it's pretty much immediate as far as you're concerned. And next. Yeah, so what we do to prepare your product to be sent to one of our 30 manufacturers is we prepare your print image for print. We make sure that the specs and the quality of the image are exactly what our manufacturers need to be able to print that product successfully. And for the first few orders, you might notice that it goes into a status called needs manual approval. And that's our team just doing a double check for your first few orders that there's no copyright issues or any issues with the placement of the artwork for that particular product, and make sure that you have a good first experience. So you might see that status and that's just what it means. And it takes up to a day, usually a few hours for our team to check through your images. Next. So our orders logic will send your order to one of 70 global locations. There are a number of questions that our algorithm will ask quote unquote, to get that product to the right manufacturer for that SKU, depending on your customer's location, what the stocking is at that given manufacturer. We're always checking to make sure that they have capacity for the order so that it gets through as fast as possible. And any, like outlier situations like inclement weather. We had a manufacturer that went down because of a hurricane. There was a fire one time and we quickly reroute that order so that your customer doesn't notice any skips in the production time, and they get.
I think that was one of the things that really helped us and our merchants last year during COVID. Was a lot of our competitors, couldn't get into their factories to actually do the work, or they didn't have the underlying supplies or raw materials. And Gooten, with this virtualized distributed network, was able to reroute orders around to wherever we could actually handle manufacturing and had raw materials and so on. So that the merchants that were on our platform were able to stay up and running and not have to switch over and find alternates and so on. So I think that's part of our secret sauce, right?
Yeah, exactly. We do a lot of the heavy lifting for you, so you don't even have to think about that stuff. It can be pretty stressful, especially nowadays, thinking about like, oh, there was an outbreak of COVID in the manufacturer and they're gonna have to shut down for a few days. We have redundancy for a lot of our top products globally, so we can reroute that order very quickly, um, and you don't even have to lift a finger. Next. So once that product gets to a manufacturer, just one note about how we curate our vendor network. They go through a rigorous vetting process to ensure that they can deliver a high quality product on behalf of your customer. We do a lot of QA for getting samples, and also our partners are also involved in the process of giving the green light for specific products, especially if they're selling a lot of that particular product today and they know like what makes a good quality t-shirt, or whatever that product is. So we do a lot of the curation ahead of time, so you don't have to worry too much about, is the print going to be falling off when you wash it and things like that. We do a lot of that in our homes now, like taking a couple t-shirts, throwing one in the laundry, and checking to make sure that the print quality is really good. And they also do a QA check at the manufacturer when your product is coming off the line before it's packed and shipped.
So I don't know if you heard this, Krista, but I was talking with one of our consultants, Marshall Atkinson, recently, and he and I were talking about some of the things that happen behind the scenes to ensure quality, and some of the things that he does. And so I've started implementing, even for myself, one of his sample testing projects. So when he orders a bunch of samples, he was telling me he actually cuts a t-shirt in half down the middle, and one side he washes like 10 times over to see what happens, and then the other side is the original, and then he
Yeah.
compares them after 10 washings. And he calls it I guess a washing a washing machine test.
Yeah.
And he's one of the crafty ways he knows that the quality is there. And knock on wood, we've done well for him to make sure that we've passed the test. But it's kind of an interesting thing where, yeah, I mean, you can do something like that to verify the quality. And I know everything you and your team does, in terms of the setup, in terms of making sure we have design templates, making sure, like the things I even learned from you personally were all about like saturation levels, so that everything that we try to do is to tee up our merchant partners to be successful, so that when an item comes over to Gooten, right, and we pass it to one of our manufacturers, we have an amazingly high degree of confidence that that's going to be produced properly, shipped properly, and the quality is going to be what everyone expects.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we love testing out products. So the fun part of our job is getting those products from vendors and really putting them through the ringer.
Excellent.
So yeah, so once the order gets into our order system, you can track every step of that that order goes through on your order management page. So we have, one of the things of note is we have automated tracking links. So as soon that shipping label is made at our manufacturers, you have visibility into that, and it's sent through our API. So if you have a particular email journey set up for customers when that order is shipped, wherever you have that tracking link, we send through the statuses from our side to you, so that it all works in sync, and it's super easy to manage. You basically don't have to touch an order once it comes into our system, for the most part, unless there's a particular issue, and you can see exactly what that issue would be on our orders page. Sometimes a product doesn't have the right address, or missing a last name or something like that, and we just call that out to you directly in the page, and you can go and solve that right away. Something of note comes
That's,
Uh,
I was just gonna say, that seems to be one of the like bigger issues that people end up facing, is not so much anything with the print or the design or something, but like we see a lot of issues just where like the address for the end consumer doesn't come through right, or like they haven't captured it properly or whatever. They haven't validated it before they send it over to us. So that
yeah,
seems to be a common issue.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, so typically our partners will spend a little time each day on their orders page, checking in on their orders. And of course, if your customers have questions about where that order is, you can easily see, estimated delivery date on the order details page, if it's already shipped, and just, give them a heads up. Or uh, if it hasn't shipped yet, you'll see that it's in production, or any of the pre-production statuses that it goes through.
It seems like so much of this business, and for us working with our merchants and the merchants working with their consumers, is setting the right expectations that this is a manufacturing process where we're actually producing the shirt, the print, the blanket, the mug, whatever it is, at the time the order is placed. And so there's it takes real time to actually produce that and then have it shipped out. So it's not like the mug's been sitting on a shelf, waiting to be, delivered in 2 hours like Amazon. This is a customized, personalized process. And so there is, some innate time that goes in. And, I think, we've been very successful last year, 2020, with all the craziness of COVID and holiday, to be, I think, pretty nimble at delivering, very efficiently for folks last year.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we're constantly hearing from you guys, like production delivery time is a big thing for you, and understanding, setting those expectations for your customers ahead of time, especially if you're selling on a marketplace like Etsy. They're super strict about, if that order goes late, you get kicked, like 3 strikes and you're out. They're pretty brutal with
Yeah.
that. But yeah, we're doing a lot on our side to help give you that information a lot more clearly. And that's something of note here. Our
Yeah.
branded tracking page is coming soon. In a couple of months, we'll be releasing that, which is super exciting.
Can you describe it a little bit for us?
Yeah,
Give us the preview, Krista. Come on. I
give
know
you
this
a little preview. Yeah, so you'll be able to customize the page with your company logo, some colors, and you'll be able to give your end customer, in place of, some shipping carrier tracking link, which those shipping carrier sites are pretty brutal sometimes. Like, they're hard to understand. They can have like really confusing messaging depending on the shipping carrier. This page will simplify all of that for your customer, and will keep them inside your branded ecosystem, so they can have a really good end-to-end experience of from when they order the product to when it gets delivered. And
it's almost like a white label shipping website, or shipping tracking website for folks, so that
yeah,
you can.
exactly. And there's definitely other products out there that do this. But the good thing about what ours is going to do is that it'll give your customer some information before that order is shipped as well. And so if you wanted to send this email out earlier in the process and just let them know, hey, your t-shirt's getting sewn up, or whatever branded way you want to talk about production. I know some of our partners don't like to say that they're printing on demand, and they would like to say, like, we're taking it off the shelf or packing up your order or something like that. So we're making that line customizable depending on how you talk to your customers about that product. And especially if you have like a personalization step, that will be super good place for you to say, hey, we're designing your product right now before it gets shipped out. So that'll be fun. And of course, yeah, keep an eye out for that, and some other fun updates around shipping tracking time for sure.
And the metric that you have here is that everything ships within 6 days. Like, to be clear, that's like the manufacturing plus shipping is
Yeah.
that. So it's not like 6 days after it's manufactured, right? It's, I mean,
Yep.
to manufacture and ship within 6 days, I mean, on a unit of one, I mean, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've seen this averaged over a few weeks now, and so I wanted to give you the latest information. But yeah, our production times are pretty even across the board, and we do offer a place to go on our knowledge base if you want to see specific products, like the exact number of days that we've gotten historical data on over the past few weeks. We let you know, we update the page quite regularly, so you can see, if there are any particular slowdowns due to like crazy holidays or super demand. Like when COVID first hit, we saw a huge uptick in e-commerce orders, and things had took slightly a little bit longer. So you can definitely see on that page, okay, maybe I want to increase my production time a little bit on my page, or hey, this t-shirt's going out in 2 days. I want to make sure that I'm right on that so that I can be more competitive against other companies that your customers might be looking at in relation to yours.
Great.
Yeah, and of course, one thing to note, we created a new feedback page for you guys so that you can share any ideas or suggestions that you have when you're going through our product and getting started. And we also give you a little peek into, what we're considering, what's in progress. So you can always check there, like, ooh, is this feature getting built out? Or, I really like, XYZ feature, and our user experience team is constantly looking at this for ideas of what's going to get into the roadmap. So it's a fun thing. You can find this on you can use the link above on the top, or you can find it on our knowledge base. It's linked on the bottom left side. And I'm thinking, Mark, that if you want to go through your slides, I'm going to try to fix my thing so we can do the demo.
Hey, just maybe while doing that, we've got a bunch of questions that have poured in. So maybe
yeah.
let's take a few questions,
Sure.
and then we'll kind of flip back and forth. So one of the, no particular order, I'm just going to kind of go through a few of them. One was, if I'm on Shopify, is there a way to use the Gooten app but add in additional vendors?
Yeah, so you can use us in conjunction with whatever other fulfillment providers you're utilizing currently. A lot of our partners, join Gooten and they test us out for t-shirts, and then down the road they decide to add another product and another product. So you can utilize us alongside any other, or if you're fulfilling products via your own inventory, for example, and you're utilizing like a 3PL service or something like that, we play nice with a lot of other fulfillment providers that you might be using. I think cool. That answers your question. Yeah. Let me know if that wasn't quite what you meant.
All right, next question. Question kind of about SKUs, and question was, I've been wondering about SKUs. I'm still in the process of setting up my store. Will my customers see the SKU on their orders? Should I rename them so 2 SKUs aren't the same or aren't for the same product? Basically kind of like maybe some best practices around SKUs, especially looks like tied into, in this case, Shopify.
Yeah. So your customer won't see the exact SKU name. So usually it's like a string of random words and numbers to make it unique for each variant. And basically our system just utilizes it to read the exact variant that we want to ship to your customer, and your end customer should never see that unless you're surfacing it somehow through your UI, which most people don't. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much. You don't have to do any particular naming unless you, like some partners will name their SKU specific things, so it works well with their invoicing system or accounting system. And that's typically what I've seen, but for the most part, people don't really pay too much attention to that, and they just publish products to their store, and they don't really worry about that.
Got it. So there's a question around, are there different price brackets for different products and order volumes? We might want to take that one offline with folks and maybe route that over to the sales team, because I know they have different programs depending on what people are willing to do. So that one, if you want to send us an email or connect with us offline, or we'll reach out to you, we can get you in touch with the sales team to address that. All right. A few more questions, Krista. They're rolling in for you. I love it. So when the packages are shipped, are they branded with Gooten, or can they can the packaging be customized with the merchant's brand?
Yeah, so this is actually something we're working on right now. We just released a new feature, return address labels that you can customize. So you can put whatever address you want according to your business name and your business address. So that can be on the package. And we're also going to be releasing in a few months custom packing slips. So you can design your packing slip with your company logo, maybe a custom message and things like that to make it more of a branded experience. And as far as the actual packaging is concerned, it's even if you don't do any of that customization work, it's completely gray labeled. Usually it'll say something like print lab and just a address there. I think it's the Gooten headquarters address. In case that product gets returned for whatever reason. But for the most part, it shouldn't have any Gooten naming on it whatsoever. So your customer will never know we're a secret partner.
All right, so a couple other questions. I know there was one question that came through the chat just around seeming like there was a little bit of an issue that they were having with Etsy. So if I think it was Tess, if that's your question, please, you know what, just email us and we'll get you in touch with our customer support team and try to address that one specifically for your particular scenario. So we'll try to help you out there. Let's see, I'm just passing on some feedback. Looks like Krista, someone actually said, yay, love the feedback page. So, I guess this person, Linda, was saying that she's made the list. So even better. So thank you, Linda, for contributing and supporting us, and appreciate the feedback. And hopefully you're seeing that we're responding to you on that. And so kudos to both sides. All right, so another question. If an order comes in from multiple product categories, i.e. a shirt, wall art, and a coffee mug, will each item ship together as one order, or do they get shipped separately?
So if that wall art, t-shirt, coffee mug example, it will ship separately most likely, because our vendors are really curated to be the best at each individual area. So, most likely if you're working with a vendor who does t-shirt, mugs, and canvas art, one of those is probably going to be suffering from a quality standpoint. So we really look to manufacturers to be experts within their given product range. So for the most part, your order will probably be shipped separately. That's something that branded tracking page will help alleviate, in that, your customer's product may be coming in separate boxes, and similar to the way Amazon handles it, it's like, hey, there's a couple different shipment groups that you might have, and you can track each of those separately. Our partners will do some manual messaging if your customer happens to order 3 different products that are coming at different times, and just give them a heads up, like, hey, your order is going to come in a few different boxes. Don't worry about it. It's all on the way. But yeah, and then if it's within a specific category, like, a blanket and a mug, where we have a vendor that does both of those products, we will route that order to be bundled together whenever we can, because we know that is the ideal experience for your end customer.
Cool. So a couple other things. Looks like some folks are excited about the custom packaging, slips, and so on. I know every one of us is excited about it as well, and we're figuring out the cost structure and what's able. So as we develop that product offering and capability out, we'll let you know if there are things that do increase costs. You'll obviously be made aware of it. If it's things that we can do with our existing resources, we'll try to do that as well. There may be different levels of that customization. Some that we can potentially do for free as part of the base cost, and some that may cost extra. So like a good example of that, we do on some of our t-shirt lines, right, Krista, have custom neck labels, and I think those are a couple dollars extra if you want to add that in, right?
Yep. Yeah. And we're looking to expand branding options as much as possible, working with a lot of our key vendors to enable as much as the features that they offer to you guys. So definitely keep an eye out on the horizon for more stuff related to that. And of course, share your feedback about personalized or customization options that you're really looking for in your business. It's very helpful for us.
All right, I'm going to take the last two comments for right now so we can wrap up and so on. Krista, we may have to reschedule your demo for another time because we are running out of time. But one question was around, are we adding live chat? I know our customer service team is looking at other technologies and solutions to try to help folks out. Part of it is also we're looking at other product feature enhancements so that you get the information and in theory don't even need to talk to us. So some of the like shipment tracking type of work that Krista was mentioning, I think even goes to help some of that as well, so that the status of orders and stuff are clearer and more readily accessible. Right, Krista?
Yeah. We want to make things as self-service as possible so that you don't have to be messaging customer service every single time you run into an issue. We know that time is of the essence when dealing with a customer service problem, especially if you have a very vocal customer who might leave a bad review. So, but yeah, I mean, of course, our customer service team is available to get all of those issues helped for you on your behalf.
Yeah. And then let's see, one last question, and then we'll finish up the presentation. When items ship separately, can Gooten send a shipping confirmation for each shipment? I think we already do that, don't we?
Yeah, we should. I'll double check into that for you. We should do that though. Every single time that a tracking link comes through on our system, we send it through the API. So yeah, I'll double check for you and follow up after this, just to be sure that that is the case. I haven't got that question before, so you got me on
I think
that.
it is, because I've actually ordered stuff, and I know there's a lot of my team, we've ordered stuff in different quantities and stuff and volumes, and we definitely get different tracking links. So I believe the answer is yes, but we'll double confirm and get back to you. All right, so we're gonna, we are kind of running up almost at the hour. We don't want to take up more of your time, so we're gonna wrap up the presentation, and we'll definitely get more time just for a demo with Krista as well, because I know you had a whole great presentation around that. So we definitely want to walk you through the latest and greatest with the merchant dashboard and new capabilities that you're also working on, and kind of talk through that. So we'll schedule a follow-up with you, Krista, for that. In terms of working with Gooten, why do people even choose us? The core reason we always like to start with is, if you can outsource your non-core functions like sourcing, manufacturing, all the stuff that Krista was talking about in terms of quality assurance and operations and watching over the manufacturing process, sort of like the day and age where, like, why would you ever want to deal with that? Gooten's here. We're dedicated and have dedicated resources to do that for you. So, hopefully you'll see the value in, just outsourcing that and letting us address that for you at the scale that we can deliver, so that you don't have to. Also, by working with Gooten, again, you don't have the same kind of cost structure, so you don't have to hire a bunch of people to worry about a lot of these things. Kind of plays to the same comment about outsourcing. All the operational concerns. Again, all the testing QA. I know Andy, who's our chief supply chain officer, he and his team are gearing up to go on site visits to all our manufacturers to make sure everything's working, and working on new service level agreements with them and so on. We try to make it easy for you on the technical side by having one API or one dashboard plugs into Gooten, and then you get the rest of the universe tied in through all our integrations and other things that we support. We can't say this enough, but every day we talk about consistent, high quality, repeatable production and manufacturing, and that's what we in essence live and die by. And our whole operations team and manufacturing team, that's what they're here for, is to make sure that you deliver us a high quality design file through the platform or through the API. We're going to make sure that you get the high quality output that you're expecting or that your customer's expecting. You do get a single point of contact with Gooten, so you get to work with our account managers and customer service teams, so that we can make it easy for you to build and grow your business. And as you're scaling your business, we do have dedicated solutions team members that can help you really look at how you're going to scale your business, and really turn the business into something very large and successful. So we're here to help you through that. Krista kind of touched on this, but one of the things that we're really proud of, especially last year in 2020, mentioned it, the bottom row of numbers are sort of, we call the slide the Gooten by the numbers. Those numbers are for last year. So if you think of it, as Krista mentioned, within 6 days, the product is produced and shipped. That's pretty amazing given the crazy year that we had last year. And that factors in all the crazy COVID time, all the holiday time. We delivered over 2.1 million orders last year. So, we're designed to scale, and we want to help you scale. Our team has grown to now over 100 employees, 70 plus locations that we can route to globally, 130 different product lines. We're here, we've been here for 6 going on 7 years. We want to earn your business every single day, and we want to be a great manufacturing partner for you, so that you can worry about coming up with your designs and selling your products, and we'll take care of everything behind the scenes for you, and you should be able to count on that every single day. So just kind of a summary. What we specialize in is all the print-on-demand techniques, whether it's direct-to-garment, whether it's wall art, home decor, seasonal items. I think one of the strengths that we have is because we have the virtual network that's distributed, we can take on lots of different types of product categories and be highly successful with them. We know that some of our competitors, maybe they specialize just in one thing, like apparel. But at Gooten, again, because we have the bifurcation of all the different manufacturers, we can excel at all the different categories for you. And we've seen some customers, merchant partners that have come to us, maybe they use one print-on-demand provider just for apparel, but then for all of their wall art and home decor kind of needs, we'll use Gooten to provide all those kind of capabilities. We use all the different major carriers. Again, easy to use technology integration, whether it's our out-of-box e-commerce integrations or our simple to use API. If you need help in looking at sourcing new products or new product lines, or help in the design optimization, which Krista was even talking about, we're happy to talk with you about all those things and evaluate our, sourcing new products for you, again, based off of forecast and volume estimates. Again, if you're migrating a store over to us and need help in figuring out some design elements, obviously we're here to help you through that. We have a host of different white label capabilities, and Krista even mentioned the shipment tracking capabilities that are coming out soon. We're going to continue to do all that. And one of the things that people do like about us is, especially if you're using multiple storefronts, is that everything gets rolled up into a single invoice. So it's very easy to see what you're paying out for all the different products and capabilities across all the different platforms that you might be using. So it makes it easy for you to reconcile everything. So at the end of the day, we want to earn your business. We try to provide a highly customized solution for you. We want to engage with you, understand your use case and how we can best help you, and then put our combination of products, services, manufacturing, support, customer success, et cetera, to work together in the right combination for you. And we really want to talk with you about your scenario, your business, and how you're going to market, so we can best support you through all of that. And with that, I think we're going to wrap up and just say thank you. If you want to reach out to us, you can reach us at marketing@gooten.com. Obviously, our website. We appreciate you taking a little bit of your time today to learn a little bit more about Gooten and how we can help you. And certainly, we're going to continue to have more webinars. I know we've already planned the next one in 3 weeks' time. We have a new team member, Dale Manning, who came over from one of our customers, OneLive. He is an expert in the merch world, and we're going to focus in 3 weeks' time on the 24th, talking about how you can use Gooten in the merch industry specifically, which might encompass celebrities, sports stars, influencers, gamers, YouTubers, musicians, you name it, anything to do with the merch category. So that'll be the next one. And then, as mentioned, we'll get Krista back in the near term here too, to walk through a great demo of our merchant dashboard, because I think it's come a long way over the years, and it's pretty impressive, all the different capabilities. So thank you all for joining. Krista, thank you so much for your time and walking us through everything today. And we'll see everyone